Focus is a magnet. Whatever consumes your attention begins to shape your reality, consciously or subconsciously. It may sound like a simple statement, but it's the most powerful, underrated truth in life. The quality of your life, the results you achieve, the people you attract, the problems you face, they are all silently responding to the dominant focus of your mind. It's not about luck. It's not about external circumstances. It's about attention, raw, undiluted, intentional focus. Every thought is energy, and every time you place sustained attention on something, whether it's a goal, a fear, a person, or an idea, you're feeding it, you're nourishing it, you're giving it life. Your subconscious doesn't distinguish between what you want and what you don't want. It only understands what you repeatedly concentrate on. That's why people who constantly worry seem to attract more situations that trigger more worry. It's not coincidence, it's the magnetism of focus. The average person goes through life giving their focus away like it's worthless. They scroll endlessly through content designed to hijack their mind. They jump from crisis to crisis, reacting instead of creating. They live in a mental fog, unable to lock into anything long enough to give it form. The result, a chaotic, fragmented reality that reflects the scattered focus they've cultivated. You can't build anything lasting with fractured attention. You can't manifest clarity out of mental noise. But when you reverse this, when you claim your attention like it's your most precious asset, everything begins to shift. You start becoming magnetic, not because you're trying harder, but because you're aligned. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy are aimed at a singular target. And that consistency creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence feeds action, and action carves reality. Think of your focus like sunlight. On its own, it warms, but when concentrated through a magnifying glass, it ignites. That's what happens when you take scattered thoughts and condense them into intentional, undistracted vision. You begin to burn through resistance. You attract ideas, people, and opportunities that match your inner state, not because the world changed, but because your lens sharpened. The most successful people you admire aren't lucky, they're focused. They've trained their minds to obsess over outcomes, not obstacles. They feed their energy into creation, not complaint. And most importantly, they understand this. You don't get what you casually want. You get what you ruthlessly focus on, and that focus becomes your personal gravity. Your relationships, your wealth, your health, your growth. They all respond to your attention. If you focus on lack, you get more lack. If you focus on growth, you get growth. If you focus on building, learning, creating, those things begin to mirror back into your world. It's not mystical, it's mechanical. Your mind is a filter, and focus is the code that tells it what to prioritize. So take inventory. What are you focused on right now? Are you feeding thoughts of fear or faith, scarcity or possibility, doubt or confidence? Your life is already reflecting it, whether you realize it or not. The most powerful shift you can make is not to work harder or hustle more, but to become fiercely intentional with your focus. Because when you understand that focus is a magnet, you no longer chase outcomes, you attract them. You start operating from vision, not reaction. You begin to craft your future from the inside out, and the world, as if by law, begins to respond. You don't need permission to change your life. You just need the courage to focus on something better, and stay there long enough to let it materialize. That's how you bend reality. That's how you become unstoppable. Your dominant thoughts sculpt your future. Energy flows where attention goes, so mastering your focus is mastering your destiny. This is not poetic idealism, it's the architecture of reality. The quality of your life is directly tied to the quality and direction of your thoughts. If your thoughts are chaotic, scattered, or negative, your life reflects that disarray. But when your thoughts are precise, purposeful, and anchored in growth, your life begins to mirror that clarity. In a world full of distractions, learning to master your focus is no longer optional, it's essential for anyone serious about building a meaningful, abundant future. Every day, you are thinking thousands of thoughts. Most of these happen on autopilot, shaped by your environment, habits, past experiences, and internal dialogue. The problem is, if you don't take control of those thoughts, someone or something else will. And whatever dominates your mind, whether consciously or unconsciously, becomes the seed from which your future grows. Your dominant thoughts become your emotional patterns. Those emotional patterns become your decisions. And those decisions become your life. It's not magic, it's cause and effect. Focus is the bridge between desire and manifestation. You can dream of a better life all day long, but if your attention is constantly hijacked by fear, gossip, distractions, or comparison, then your future is being sculpted by noise, not by vision. Energy, mental, emotional, spiritual flows where your attention goes. If you continually dwell on what you lack, you'll start experiencing more of that lack. If your attention is placed on abundance, opportunity, gratitude, and creation, your life will begin to expand in those very directions. But it's not enough to casually think about what you want. You must develop intentional focus. Intentional focus is a discipline, a daily, conscious decision to direct your mind toward a desired outcome. It's the act of sitting with your vision, of revisiting your goals not just monthly or yearly, but daily. It's rehearsing the feelings of success and fulfillment before they arrive so that your subconscious mind becomes comfortable with them. When this happens, you begin to act, speak, and move from a place of alignment with your future, not your past. That's the real power of focus. Your focus acts like a filter. Through it, your mind begins scanning your environment and filtering your experiences in ways that confirm your dominant beliefs. If your dominant thought is, "I'm always behind," your brain will find every piece of evidence to support that. You'll ignore the progress you've made and your anxiety will grow. But if you program your mind with, "I am evolving rapidly," then your brain will highlight your growth, your momentum, and your strength. Over time, this difference in perception becomes a difference in reality. Focus, then, is the birthplace of transformation. If you want to change your life, start with your focus. That doesn't just mean thinking positive thoughts, it means eliminating distractions that dilute your energy. It means choosing your inputs with care. The content you consume, the conversations you entertain, the beliefs you reinforce. It means having the courage to say no to what doesn't align and yes to what builds your future. Every yes is an investment of energy. Every no is a protection of your vision. Mastering your focus is the most powerful personal development skill you can build. It turns scattered ambition into concentrated fire. It converts vague desire into unstoppable momentum, and when you harness this power with clarity and consistency, you become magnetic. You begin to draw in resources, people, and circumstances that align with the blueprint you've been carving in your mind. So understand this. Your focus is not just a tool, it is the chisel shaping the sculpture of your destiny. Guard it, sharpen it, point it toward what you want, and never waver, because where your attention goes, your life will surely follow. Negative focus breeds negative results. Worry, doubt, and fear don't protect you. They attract exactly what you don't want. This truth is subtle, yet it is the foundation of many lives lived in quiet frustration. You see, the mind doesn't differentiate between a fear-based fixation and a goal-based focus. It simply responds to repetition and emotional intensity. When you consistently dwell on problems, imagine worst-case scenarios, or replay past failures, you train your subconscious to expect more of the same. And because your subconscious influences your decisions, actions, and even your perception of reality, you unknowingly walk straight into the outcomes you were trying to avoid. Worry feels like preparation, but it's not. It's a rehearsal for disaster. People often believe that by obsessing over what could go wrong, they're somehow shielding themselves from it. But what really happens is that the emotional charge around those thoughts increases, which makes them stick. The brain becomes hypersensitive to confirming evidence, and soon your world starts to reflect your inner chaos. Your relationships suffer, your creativity stalls, your confidence erodes, not because you're incapable, but because your mental energy has been hijacked by imagined outcomes. Fear and doubt are mental viruses. Left unchecked, they multiply, they spread through your thought patterns, infect your self-image, and limit your ability to make bold decisions. And while fear is a natural emotion, living in it is a choice. Each time you give in to fear-based thinking, you reinforce the belief that the world is dangerous, that you are powerless, and that success is reserved for someone else. This belief doesn't just live in your mind. It starts shaping your habits, your relationships, your finances, and your future. Here's what most people miss. You don't get what you want. You get what you believe, and belief is a product of focus. If your mental lens is pointed at doubt and worst-case scenarios, you strengthen those beliefs until they become your default lens. That's why people who constantly worry seem to always have something to worry about, because their inner reality magnetizes matching outer experiences. The cycle becomes self-reinforcing, but there's good news. This process works both ways. Just as you can spiral downward by focusing on fear, you can spiral upward by choosing a different focus. You can train your mind to look for evidence of possibility instead of danger. You can consciously interrupt negative patterns and redirect your energy toward growth, opportunity, and strength. And when you do, the world around you begins to shift in response, not because of magic, but because of mental alignment. Every time you shift your focus away from worry and toward trust, you reclaim power. Every time you choose faith over fear, you reshape your emotional landscape. And that shift changes what you notice, what you pursue, and what you allow into your life. It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about refusing to make them your central focus. It's about giving more mental real estate to solutions, desires, and empowering narratives. Remember, focus is a form of prayer. Whatever you dwell on, you're essentially affirming and inviting into your experience. So be ruthless with your attention, starve your fears, feed your faith, and understand that worry doesn't protect you. It robs you. It steals your peace, your clarity, and your power to act. The world will always offer you something to fear, but you get to decide what holds your focus, and that choice, repeated day after day, is what determines the life you create. Choose wisely. Laser-sharp clarity unlocks manifestation. Specificity in focus is the bridge between desire and reality. It's not enough to merely want something or to hope vaguely for better. The universe doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to intention that is crystal clear. When your vision is diluted by generality, the energy behind it weakens. But when your focus is specific, targeted, and precise, it sends out a frequency that cuts through the noise of indecision and confusion, drawing your desired reality closer, faster. The mind needs direction. Think of it like a GPS system. If you type in somewhere nice, you'll get nowhere. But if you type in a clear address with exact coordinates, your GPS will take you there with certainty. Your mind works the same way. General desires such as I want more money or I want to be happier are too vague to activate the full power of your focus. But when you say, I want to earn $100,000 by December 31st through my consulting business, Or I want to be emotionally at peace and physically fit at 165 pounds by the summer. Now you've set coordinates. That specificity gives your subconscious mind a target, and the subconscious mind begins moving you toward it through ideas, decisions, opportunities, and alignment. Clarity and focus is powerful because it aligns your entire being. Your thoughts, emotions, and actions are around a singular vision. It eliminates distractions, reduces internal conflict, and streamlines your energy. When you are vague, you scatter your power. When you are precise, you consolidate it. That consolidation creates intensity, and intensity accelerates manifestation. It's not about working harder, it's about becoming more deliberate in where your mental and emotional energy is invested. Many people don't manifest their desires not because they lack belief, but because they lack detail. The clearer the image in your mind, the easier it becomes to feel it emotionally, and emotion is the language of the subconscious mind. Vivid clarity in your vision fuels the emotion, and emotion, in turn, fuels the attraction process. It's not just visualization for the sake of daydreaming. It's a tool to program your reality. When you see it clearly, you begin to believe it. When you believe it, you act on it. When you act in alignment, manifestation follows. Clarity also protects your focus. When you're specific about what you want, it becomes easier to say no to distractions. You stop chasing shiny objects. You stop following someone else's vision. You stop reacting to every demand for your time and energy. Instead, you begin filtering your choices through a simple question. Does this bring me closer to my vision, or does it pull me away? That level of discernment becomes automatic when your focus is sharp. You no longer waste time. You move with purpose. And that purpose sends a signal, not just to your mind, but to your environment, that you are serious, committed, and ready. Manifestation isn't mystical when you look at it through the lens of focus. It's deeply practical. You attract what you're prepared for, and clarity prepares you. It disciplines your behavior, guides your thinking, and sharpens your decisions. People who manifest quickly aren't lucky. They're laser-focused. They know exactly what they want. They live as if it's already theirs. They speak in specifics, move in alignment, and act with certainty. The universe doesn't reward indecision. It rewards clarity backed by consistent action. So if you want your reality to change, you must first change how clear you are about what you want. Get detailed. Get vivid, get precise, see it, feel it, name it, and then build everything in your life to reflect that exact image. Because once you do, manifestation is no longer a hope. It becomes inevitable. Your life is a mirror of your mind. What's outside is simply a reflection of what you habitually focus on inside. This truth is both liberating and sobering. It means that your external reality, your relationships, finances, health, and opportunities, is not random or solely the result of external circumstances. It is a projection of your internal world. The thoughts you think repeatedly, the emotions you dwell in, the beliefs you rehearse in your mind, they shape your environment with mathematical precision. This reflection is constant. Just as a mirror shows you the reality of your physical appearance, life shows you the reality of your mental patterns. If you constantly focus on lack, you will see more lack around you. If you constantly dwell on fear, your world will present you with reasons to be afraid. If you rehearse failure in your imagination, life will give you moments that confirm it. The outer world is your mind made visible. It's not judging you, it's just reflecting you. And once you truly grasp this, you step into a place of radical power and responsibility. The mistake many people make is trying to change the mirror without changing what's in front of it. They try to fix the relationship, fix the job, fix the bank account, without ever addressing the inner story that created those outcomes in the first place. It's like trying to wipe a frown off your reflection without changing your actual face. It doesn't work. Sustainable change begins inside. When you shift your dominant thoughts, your dominant reality begins to shift as well. When you internalize a new identity, the mirror has no choice but to reflect that new identity back to you. This isn't some abstract spiritual idea. It's grounded in neuroscience and psychology. Your mind filters reality through the reticular activating system RAS, which acts like a radar for whatever you focus on most. If you tell yourself you're unlucky, the RAS will highlight all the moments that prove you're unlucky. If you believe you're resourceful and capable, the RAS will amplify evidence to support that. It is not filtering based on truth, it's filtering based on your consistent mental focus. You train your mind what to see, and your life becomes a result of that training. That's why mindset work isn't optional, it's foundational. You can't build an abundant life on a mindset of scarcity. You can't cultivate love and connection while mentally fixated on fear and abandonment. You must align your internal atmosphere with the results you want externally, and that alignment begins with awareness. Start by observing your mental habits. What are you focusing on when you're alone? What stories do you repeat about yourself? What emotional states do you live in? These patterns are shaping your world whether you realize it or not. Once you observe them, you can rewire them. You can begin to focus deliberately on what you want, not just what you fear. You can visualize success instead of failure. You can embody gratitude instead of resentment. These mental shifts, repeated consistently, begin to reshape the reflection, and this is not an overnight transformation. It's a discipline. Just like working out at the gym transforms your body over time, working on your thoughts transforms your life over time. Small changes in your inner focus compound into big changes in your outer reality. The beauty of this truth is that you don't need permission from anyone to start. You don't have to wait for better circumstances. You already have the most powerful tool at your disposal, your own mind. Use it wisely, direct it intentionally, and know this. When your inner world becomes rich, peaceful, and focused, the mirror will reflect it back to you. Because life doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. And you are whatever you consistently focus on. In the end, the truth is inescapable. Your focus is your fate. Every thought you dwell on, every belief you rehearse, every image you replay in your mind becomes the blueprint for the life you are living and will continue to live. This is not a coincidence, it's a law. What you consistently focus on, you begin to attract, embody, and eventually become. The external world is not leading your life. Your internal world is. You don't need to chase results or beg for outcomes. You need only to master your attention, because whatever owns your focus owns your future. The mirror of life will never lie to you. It doesn't bend reality. It reflects it. If you want to change the reflection, you must change what you are showing it. That means choosing your thoughts deliberately, aligning your focus with your desires instead of your fears, and becoming the version of yourself that already has the life you want. The clearer your focus, the faster the alignment. The more disciplined your mind, the more magnetic your energy becomes. So from this moment forward, guard your mind like treasure. Focus it like a laser. Cultivate it like a garden, because what you focus on, you attract. And what you attract, you live. Let that focus be rooted in vision, clarity, gratitude, and belief. And watch as the mirror reflects back a reality far greater than anything you've yet experienced.